Xbox and Microsoft recently entered into a merger deal with Activision Blizzard, a publishing arm that has been home to some of the highest selling games in the industry over the past 20 to 30 years. A portion of this deal is to leverage the buying power and brand power of the Xbox console and Game Pass platform, which was for many years lagging behind the industry and is now, in many ways, leading it. The acquisition deal is set to take some 18 months to solidify and pass legal allowance, and right now, as industry journalists and legal experts look into this upcoming deal with Activision and Blizzard, one of the biggest concerns outside of exclusivity is this deal even legal? This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some legal problems with this merger with Activision Blizzard and Phil Spencer shocking everybody with a brand new announcement about exclusivity. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. And let's talk about what's going on with Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox. One of the biggest acquisition deals in games history is the Activision Blizzard merger with Microsoft and Xbox Game Studios. Xbox has 23 in-house studios right now and will be adding another 10 plus with the Activision Blizzard deal. There is a lot to unpack, especially with over 10 studios working on multiple franchises and some dormant IPs that will now belong to the Xbox platform. Phil Spencer spoke with CNBC after the deal was announced and shed some light on many of the questions people have about this acquisition. He said 3 billion gamers on the planet today, people playing in all regions. We've always just had a good connection with the team at Activision Blizzard about where we're trying to go. No doubt in my mind, Phil Spencer says, the most important thing is the teams. The creative teams at Activision Blizzard and King that have created some of the world's most beloved game franchises, making sure that they have the tools that they need to reach their creative vision, having the right culture in place to reach the creative vision, and frankly, have some context and technical capability that we can bring from Xbox and Microsoft to help them achieve that. And I can't wait to get to work with those amazing teams when we think about where the future will go. Alex Harmon, a competitive policy advocate for public citizens, stated, once again, Microsoft, one of the biggest of the tech companies, is shamelessly gobbling up a competitor to try to strengthen its market position. No way should the Federal Trade Commission or the FTC and the U.S. Department of Justice permit this merger to proceed, close quote. It's yet another indication that Microsoft may well avoid securing all Activision Blizzard as exclusives for its platforms, as pointed out by rumors and official sources alike, not to mention suggested by analysts. Such a move could prove instrumental in passing the scrutiny of regulators, as it would show them that massive games like Call of Duty would still be available on platforms not owned or controlled by Microsoft. Phil Spencer said, we put the player at the center of every decision we do, whether it's about our subscription offering, our cloud offering, having a diverse set of content. It's one of the things I love about this deal. Call of Duty, one of the premier first-person multiplayer competitive shooters in the gaming industry, has sold well over 300 million units. 70% of those sales are on PlayStation, with 30% being on Xbox across consoles. In an absolute shock to the gaming community, an absolute shock to gaming journalists and all analysts looking into the merger and the acquisition deal with Activision and Blizzard, Phil Spencer made this tweet midday on January 20th saying, quote, had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. Close quote. A total shock for half of the gaming community that believed one thing and are seeing another in an edge case, where Xbox is looking at two possibilities and none of them truly have to do with keeping a relationship with Sony. This is about making $1.5 billion per year in revenue for Call of Duty and almost $500 million in profit derived from the PlayStation platform alone. The other is keeping the Xbox brand from appearing malicious or cutting off a major franchise from PlayStation. Industry analysts believe right now that Xbox will sacrifice something like Call of Duty becoming a multiplat, as the FTC or Department of Justice will feel the merger will be disruptive in the business market within PlayStation next to Xbox, throwing a regulatory process a bone just to get the bigger deal, which is over a dozen studios and a mobile foothold with Activision Blizzard. Sony has marketing deals with Call of Duty running until 2024, a full year after this deal is complete, with nearly $500 million in yearly revenue for PlayStation, above and beyond game sales, hardware, and services. The day of the announcement for the merger, Sony was assuring fans and stakeholders that Call of Duty would remain on PlayStation for the time being. A Sony spokesperson said, "We expect that Microsoft will abide by the contractual agreements and continue to assure Activision games will be multi-platform." Of course, this means currently released games and future releases before the deal closes in the summer of 2023. Just like the Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition in 2020, this acquisition of Activision Blizzard is a merger where Microsoft will own the properties and products from these studios and will allow them to work independently, but report to Xbox's gaming division under Phil Spencer, allowing these studios to continue to work in their current leadership, which will now just be under the Microsoft umbrella. This is critically important for Xbox being allowed by the Department of Justice and Federal Trade Commission to go forward with the merger. This is not about a monopoly, it is far from it, as Activision and Blizzard are one of many major multi-billion-dollar entertainment entities within the video games industry. Xbox would only own a small portion, not even a tenth, of the major mainstream publishers in dollars or market share. If the Department of Justice or antitrust results block the merger, Microsoft would have to pay Activision Blizzard a transaction fee of $2 to $3 billion. If Activision or Blizzard back out or get a better offer, they will owe Microsoft $2 to $3 billion. So each stands to benefit immensely from making it through to July 2023 with the acquisition and folding into the Microsoft Xbox Studio team. Putting Activision Blizzard next to Bethesda and ZeniMax under the Xbox Game Studios' heliocentric first-party studio groups puts Microsoft in third place in the market share next to PlayStation and Tencent. Xbox would need to acquire quite a few more publishers before a viable antitrust inquiry could come into concern. One of the major points that would avoid all exclusivity concern is that PlayStation is just one platform and does not dictate where the market goes and does not change the rules where exclusives are concerned. Remember that PlayStation strikes 1 to 3 major exclusivity deals every year that do not release on Xbox consoles, and the justification from fans and the media is that Xbox is the smaller user base. The upside is that PlayStation accounts for almost 70% of the annular Call of Duty game sales and is the top selling third-party game on the PlayStation each and every year. When Sony declares that Activision Blizzard will continue to do business as usual, meaning they will continue to release these multi-platform titles like Call of Duty on the PlayStation until this merger is complete, what this really means is that legally, Activision and Blizzard have to continue to keep games on the platform that have already released. It's very important to note from Phil Spencer's tweet that he did not mention any other franchises that belong to Activision or to Blizzard. Also saying that Microsoft desires to keep Call of Duty on the PlayStation leaves a lot of interpretation, meaning there may be some caveats or terms of agreements to come to from PlayStation and Xbox. Some are speculating that maybe PlayStation has to bring Game Pass to their platform to continue to get Call of Duty on there with the desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. But what this also means is that PlayStation cannot offer to buy the IP of Call of Duty from Activision while they are in the process of being bought by Microsoft. There is no monopoly related to law or antitrust law that states that a major popular or high-selling franchise has to remain on all platforms. This is the very core of capitalism, which thrives around the globe, where business can spend money to make money, or in other words, if Xbox needs more buying power, they can spend more money on R&D to build a bigger and better console, or spend more money to make bigger and better games. Looking at this chart again, the PlayStation and Nintendo platform, mainly only on console, make up this red portion of a full circle of global gaming market revenue share. Xbox has no legal obligation to help support the PlayStation third-party revenue stream. But looking at the overall revenue stream for Call of Duty alone and the lopsided sales going to PlayStation over the Xbox puts it in a situation where the regulatory committee could look at the numbers and see an unfairness where Microsoft is buying out a major revenue stream for PlayStation. If Microsoft ultimately decides to keep Call of Duty forever multi-plat and always release on PlayStation as well as Xbox, it could be an ends to a means to make sure that the rest of this deal is taken forward. Remember, Microsoft has an additional $60 billion that they need to spend before the end of the fiscal year, and they are still looking at other acquisitions. This is about bringing a big foothold into the mobile industry, as well as having major franchises and IPs pushed to the Xbox to have more games on Game Pass, PC, and the console platform. There is so much more to unpack with this acquisition. There are tons of franchise and game IPs that have been dormant or underutilized, and how Xbox will strike a balance between allowing Activision Blizzard to culture create their own games and also help usher in brand new and beloved games. The legal hangups, the questions will be asked and unanswered for months to come. But Xbox has set up a merger that seems all ready to benefit nearly everyone. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I know there's a lot of legalese, some technical wording, and some stuff that doesn't sound very fun, but it's very important to what's going to happen over the next year and a half as Xbox acquires these studios. And Phil coming out today and saying that Call of Duty would remain on PlayStation, it's not so vague. The very first time I read it, I think, okay, PlayStation is going to have Call of Duty forever. There's much more, and we'll hear more as this envelops. And we'll hear more as this unfolds, and I'm sure there'll be more to talk about, which we'll do next week on the XSC podcast. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content. And if you want to further support the channel, you can hit the join button below. You can also join the Patreon, which will give you early access to videos before they go live. Well, I want to know what you think is going on with this and what you think about Phil Spencer's tweet. There are 2 or 3 sentences there that have a lot of interpretation. Let me know in the comment section of what you think the future of Call of Duty is on Xbox or PlayStation. And while you're there, please try not to get any crazy arguments, and please be nice.